Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Deborah and I'm a civil celebrant. It gives me the greatest of pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful occasion of the wedding ceremony of Christy Ann Flanzer to Samson Robert Thoburn, here at the wonderful historic Carlton Towers. There is a rich history here at Carlton Towers. Whilst the earliest records of a dwelling on this particular site can be traced right back to the Domesday Books, its magnificent complete whole is made of many parts, from the Jacobean in 1614, changing and evolving, just as we do through life, right through to the 1800s, resulting in what we see as its quite magnificent Victorian facade and points of architectural interest. As the family who own Carlton Towers observe, it is quite simply, seamlessly mixing the grace of Downton Abbey with the magic of Hogwarts. The sense of parliamentary splendour we feel comes from having been designed by an architect whose father designed the interiors of the Palace of Westminster. So fitting for this, the grandest of occasions. And what occasion grander than the marriage of two wonderful human beings in love. But today is about making you all welcome. And you have all waited so patiently. You have travelled today by air, by car, by bus. And you've looked forward to just joining together to celebrate. And this is exactly what we will do today. We thank our fabulous team here who have already made everybody feel so welcome and who will continue to make sure that you have the most wonderful of days as you progress through ceremony, through to your wedding breakfast and your evening reception. You will share in celebration, laughter and fun. And this celebration is about Christy and Sam's partnership, celebrating it with all of those who are important to them. And it is far more than a party or a show. It reminds us truly of what is important in life, the connections that hold us all together. And let us just take briefly a moment to consider the importance of ceremony. Ceremony is the celebration of our belief, of our heritage and of our culture. And we perform ceremony world over at important transitions in life. And it is performed with those who are our most loved and respected family, friends and pets. So today, therefore, is a true gift. And it is a gift that brings us togetherness and celebrating the magic and the wonder of love. I know that Christy and Sam have put an awful lot of thought and planning into how to maximise your opportunity to mingle, to catch up, to share stories, to laugh together and to truly enjoy being together. It will be amazing and we must enjoy to the full as we celebrate their love and their marriage. This is their day, celebrated with you, the most special people in their lives. I'm going to insert a small quote here. To love another human in all parts of her splendour and imperfect perfection, it is a magnificent task, tremendous and foolish and human. Louise Erdrich. So we come to something we traditionally call the giving away. Chris and Alison, today you walked your adult children down the aisle to give them away. Now, we use the term giving away out of tradition here in the UK, but neither of you have any sense of ownership over your children. Indeed, you value them for the wonderful, independent adults that they have become. Successful, loving, generous. To give away, for me, represents giving away a little bit of trust, both physically and spiritually. Victoria and Mark, you are also giving away your beloved daughter, son. You are entrusting the future happiness of your children to another person in their lives who has become as important to them as you both are to them. Somebody who will love, cherish, nurture and support unconditionally, just as you have done for them all of their lives and will continue to do so until the day you die. With this in mind, Chris, Victoria, Alison and Mark, I now ask you all, do you give your blessing for this union in marriage? We do. Wonderful. Those of you here today all give your love and your support unconditionally, and thank you all once more for travelling to join us. The personal connections that you all bring mean a great deal to Christy and to Sam. Our friends and our families, well, they nurture us, they hold us together, and they give us structure. You laugh with us, cry with us, challenge and support us in equal measure. But the human bonds that help sustain us extend further than family, and they include important friendships. Friendships forged through life, through childhood, university, work, for example. Christy and Sam, we know how welcome your families have made each other. Your families have blended and both become larger and even more wonderful for it. We know that Christy, at least, is a big fan of Harry Potter. Though it might seem superficially somewhat whimsical and fantastical in its collection of novels, Harry Potter is actually so much more. It is a story about love more than anything else. Love and friendship is the cornerstone of all the Harry Potter novels. It forms the bond which ultimately makes the books so much fun to read. This brings us back to the importance of all of you here. And I have a few words written as a gift to Sam and to Christy as we did our rehearsal yesterday. And I shall share them with the full permission of our authors. Dear Christy and Sam, your courage, enthusiasm and dedication inspire us all. You have a tremendous sense of adventure and we can't wait to see what you do in the future. Love from Max and Megan. To a wonderful and a very special couple, here's to a great future together. All of our love, Mum and Dad. Christy and Sam, as deep as your love is today, know that it will grow, really. You are both so strong and together even stronger. Love you always, Mum, Victoria. I can't believe that your special day is finally here. I am happy to have been a part of this long journey every step of the way. You both deserve so much happiness and joy. And I wish you both a lifetime of love and understanding and much laughter. I love you both so much. And if you see me sobbing tomorrow during the ceremony, Pretend you didn't. Amy. It has been an absolute pleasure and privilege to watch the two of you on your adventures. I can't think of a better matched and balanced couple. Your love and joy in each other is incredible to watch. Helena. Christy and Sam, here's wishing you well so many, many years of marital happiness. What you have is clearly very special. In this too often brutal and superficial world we live in, it brings me such happiness knowing that you found the person who can give you such personal, profound meaning and fulfillment. Congratulations, etc. Lewis. I'm so happy to finally be here with you both. Every single obstacle or challenge to get to this day was so worth it. I love both of you so very much. We've been dreaming of this day since 10 years ago when we looked at wedding magazines together in our dorm room. CIA 5 ever. Did I get that right? From Anna. I'll ask later. Thank you so much for sharing those words, everybody. So you see, therefore, you are all such precious influences in Christy and Sam's life, and today you witness their joining together as they journey forward into married life. They reflect today on the tender, love-filled moments that they have shared together, the successes they have shared together, and the harder times and challenges that have brought them even closer together, the many roads they have already walked side by side. We're now going to be treated to a very special prayer and blessing written by Christy's sister Tori and delivered by Sam's father Mark.
Heavenly Father, I'm humbled to address you and am grateful for your presence here. Thank you for bringing us to this day and for providing Christy and Sam so much. I ask that you bless their marriage, that you would honour my sister and Sam by giving them peace and love today and the rest of their days. Hallowed be thy name. Amen.
Thank you ever so much, and we know that Tori is with us. So thinking about Christy and Sam, what brings two individuals together? Not just any two individuals, but the two very people who are just the right person for each other. Is it fate? Is it serendipity? Or is it just chance? Who knows in reality? But what we do know is that Christy and Sam stand with us today to celebrate what is fact. Regardless of whatever permutation of any of the aforementioned, they are each other's person. Their joint story starts on the 15th of October 2014. And it was the unlikely and unromantic setting of a study abroad event at the UCSD for potential exchange students that brought them together in terms of the geographical space, at least. Two people born across the world from each other, sharing a space and a connection. Now, having known Christy and Sam for a relatively short while compared to all of you here, it still came as absolutely no shock to me that it was the selfless sharing of knowledge and experience with other people that brought them together. They had both wanted to encourage others to widen their horizons and to study abroad. And despite a number of unlikely circumstances that had unfolded earlier in the day, Christy still decided to attend the event. She clocked the handsome stranger, my words, but I'm sure nobody here objects, across the room. When it came to the presentation, Christy noticed said handsome stranger sitting next to the keynote speaker. There was also an empty chair. So the opportunity presented itself and the moment was seized upon. Christy placed herself right next to Sam to hear him telling the keynote speaker where he was from. Christy herself had only just returned back to the USA after studying on an exchange here in England. And so a conversation ensued and carried on into the formal dinner, where Christy made a point of finding a seat next to her handsome man once more. I think as a footnote, we could call that stalking. However, Christy had an inkling, even then, that this was something more. For Sam, whose self-confidence was not at a place that allowed him to believe that somebody would want to be with him for all that he was, he dare not even allow himself to think that this could develop into something special. Christy made sure that they exchanged contact information, and the rest, as they say, is history. And here we stand. Incidentally, the building that was witness to the beginning of our fairy tale is now demolished, and in its place the parking lot. I'm making no symbolic references there. Now, Christy and Sam gave me a timeline of their early relationship. It was precise. It was detailing exact key dates. And this is actually very rare, and to me, it says something important about significance. Taking chances, baring your soul, opening your heart, and of allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to love. And the timeline goes like this. The first actual date was on October the 23rd. By December 2014, so just shy, really, of today's date, they had exchanged their first kiss, and things were tentatively growing. Just 7 months into their relationship, on April the 11th, 2015, somebody keeps a very good diary, they declared their love to one another. It is at this point that they begin to realise that within their vulnerabilities and their anxieties, the following is actually true. You are protected, in short, by your ability to love. Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. There are some incredibly wise words in Harry Potter. Now, as a wedding celebrant of 5 years, I've seen many proposals of marriage, and I have to say that watching back, Sam's proposal is one of the most beautifully considered and choreographed affairs that I've ever seen. You may well have seen the video clip yourselves. A chatty and nervous Sam recalling how he had charmed Christy with tales of King Charles I, who was beheaded. I mean, it really could have been a game changer, couldn't it, at that point? But clearly that particular conversation didn't put Christy off. On the beautifully sunny late noon of the 13th of January 2018, an unsuspecting Christy was just going about her business after a long week at work, as she is surprised by a succession of friends, each gifting her a tulip and a written instruction to proceed to another place on campus, a place that represented an important memory to them and their relationship. The final clue being gifted by both sets of parents, culminating in Christy arriving on a rooftop where she was greeted by Sam, going down on bended knee, ring in hand. quite clearly, it was a yes. As I watched the video back, I was struck by how this short insight into their lives represented the journey that they will take together in life. The family and friends who will join them as they travel along each twist, each turn in life. And it reminded me of the leap of faith these two young lovers are taking, the trust in each other and the trust in those around them to be there and to hold them as a couple. Just beautiful. There have been many compromises along the way, especially with the challenges faced with a long-distance relationship. But what struck me, though, about these two is that they work as a team, each in turn working to support the other's academic studies and aspirations. And this turn-taking, this reciprocity, is truly a strength. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it really showed me the depth of your connection. So what do they value about each other? Of Christy, Sam tells me he loves her commitment to organisation, her consciousness of other people, her healthy disregard of what is fashionable and the ability to do what she thinks is good. He admires her work ethic, yet wishes it didn't cause her stress and anxiety. But he admires her incredible feats of longevity and concentration. Again, notwithstanding that with it comes some anxiety and stress. He admires that she is an exemplary long-term planner. Of Sam, Christy tells me she truly values his passion for things that he cares about. She loves his ability to be carefree about things and that he doesn't need to know every detail of the future to feel safe. She values his sense of humour and his silliness, and she loves nothing more than when they are laughing together. Christy describes Sam as a genuinely good person, and she trusts him to be a good person in every scenario. So what next? Christy and Sam, you've walked side by side into this new stage of your lives, and going forward, you will continue your impressive ability to work as a team, each of you supporting the other to achieve your dreams. Travelling the globe if necessary, just to make sure that the other is true to their ambitions. You will build your home and your library together. There will be a physical library of books and texts, but there will be the lived library of memories and experiences that will go unwritten, but which will last forever. Perhaps you will own more pets. Don't listen, Peach. If Peach should be willing to share her human parents. And a few other reflections. As academically brilliant, and they are, and immensely intelligent as these two are, I was also very much endeared to their air of innocence, their playfulness and fun that was present every time we met virtually or in person. They joked and they teased each other in an affectionate way. There has clearly been a transatlantic cultural shift at times, and I can imagine there have been the odd discussions about some of the peculiarities of each other's cultures. However, this transatlantic team, blended couple, are amazing. When I think of Christy and Sam, I'm minded of the words of Jane Austen, who I know is one of their favourite authors, and it's from my particular favourite of hers, Pride and Prejudice. Her heart did whisper that he had done it for her. It takes a degree of bravery to listen to your heart, especially when we can be so driven by balanced and considered analysis and logical functioning of the brain. Christy and Sam, you have listened to the whisper of your hearts, and your hearts have gifted you the beauty of love. And I'd just like to sit with books just for a moment, because they are so important to Christy and to Sam. And as I thought about just how beautiful this was, I reflected on the importance of words, both written and spoken. The conveying of feeling and of emotion, the sharing of knowledge, the telling of fairy tales and stories. We could use this as a metaphor for Christy and Sam's relationship. Their book being the chapters of their lives. The chapters made up of many pages narrating the story of Christy and Sam. Stories that you have all been part of in the various chapters of their life. And what holds their book together? The love of you all is the spine, the cover, and the binding that helps hold those pages together. And today you are all the characters in this exciting chapter of their story. And as I was doing that, I bound your ceremony by hand into a book that will sit in your library. This is your story. So we come to the asking. You are all, as we said previously, such very special people. And you have all been the core strength and significance supporting Christy and Sam's relationship reaching this point. And for this, they are eternally grateful. They ask you, therefore, today to continue to support them as they journey forward into married life together. With this in mind, I ask you all now, do you all offer Christy and Sam your unconditional love, friendship, guidance and support as they continue their life as husband and wife? We do. There's no subtle way of doing that, really. Christy and Sam, marriage, as both of us understand it, is the voluntary and the full commitment of consenting adults to one another. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others, and it is entered into with the desire, the hope, and the firm intent that it will last forever. Christy and Sam, you have come here today as you start your journey into married life to declare your commitment and your love for one another and to seek the blessing of affirmation and strength for the years that lie ahead. As you stand before all of those who care for you, claim their strength and love for you both, and drawing in the trust that you have kindly placed in me today, I will ask you now to speak in truth and from your hearts, your commitment to your marriage and to each other. Would you like to share your vows with this?
Christy. There was a poor man in Kashmir 1,000 years ago who fell for the king's daughter. For that crime, he would face punishment, either banishment or death. Sitting in his cell before the sentence was pronounced, he dedicated a poem to her. He wrote, "Just for a small and a forgotten time, I have had full in my eyes from off my girl the whitest pouring of eternal light." The man's next step, whether into exile or into the next life, will take him along a path made bright by that eternal light. The poet's resolution is to die for the love of a princess. Mine is to live for the same reason. Christy, what you have offered me for 8 years is enormous love. Even when it was unearned, you gave it freely. Not according to my desert, but according to thy mercy. You offered all this love to me, I think, because you knew I would one day be worthy of it. You've always seen the merit in me in places I thought empty. Let this ceremony be an endpoint for the old ways, and let it be the moment for a new recognition. I vow to let your light in. I vow to become your Sam, the man you've always been convinced I am already. I vow to love you and respect you every day, for as long as we have on this miraculous planet together.
Finished you off now. Christy, if you'd like to exchange your personal vows with Sam.
Sam, I am constantly grateful that we came into each other's lives. Every day I'm with you, I can hardly believe how lucky I am, and I only love you more and more as they pass. You're my partner in everything, and I love you so much for exactly the person you are. And all that we've been through together, in 7 years of easy times and hard times, and move after move, as we followed each other across the world to support each other and pursue our educations, the heart of it all has always been you and me. In those 2.5 years of being separated by over 5,000 miles, never once was it difficult because of the commitment. It was difficult because I was separated from the love of my life, my partner, and my best friend. Committing my life to you is really quite easy because it's the only future I've seen or wanted for myself in a very long time. I can't wait to laugh together and love together each day for the rest of our lives, to have you by my side when everything else seems impossible, because I know as long as I have you, I have everything I need. Today, standing in front of our family and friends, I vow these things to you. I promise to always support your dreams. I promise to make our relationship my priority and always put us before me. I promise to continue to be your supporter on the sidelines of your cricket matches, even when it's raining and we've been there all weekend. I promise to always keep making you smile, because you know your smile is my favorite thing in the world. I promise to help you build up some massive library in a future house of ours, as long as there's a section reserved for your Harry Potter paraphernalia, as we agreed. Your happiness means the world to me, and I vow to spend the rest of my life making you as happy as I can. And most importantly, I promise to never, ever stop loving you. I vow all these things in good times and bad, in sickness and in health. I'm with you through all of it, Sam.
Christy and Sam, a wedding ring is more than simply precious metal. It is a treasured and valued possession. Your wedding rings symbolise to the world your eternal and your unbroken love for each other. I now ask for our wedding rings to be presented. Thank you. Is Peach not the most beautiful ring bearer that you've ever come across? Wonderful. I'll pop them on there. Sam, if you'd like to take Christy's wedding band and place it partway down her ring finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
As a sign of my love.
as a sign of my love,
As a symbol of all we share.
as a symbol of all we share,
And of my never-ending love
and of my never-ending love
and devotion to you.
and devotion to you.
Continue to wear it
continue to wear it
as a sign of our love
as a sign of our love,
and in pride that you are my wife.
and in pride that you are my wife.
Would you like to place Christy's ring?
Yes, I will do my absolute level best.
Warm fingers.
There we are.
Christy, if you'd like to take Sam's ring and place it partway down his ring finger. And repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a sign of my love,
as a sign of my love,
as a symbol of all we share,
as a symbol of all we share,
and of my never-ending
and of my never-ending
love and devotion to you.
love and devotion to you.
Continue to wear it
Continue to wear it
as a sign of our love
as a sign of our love,
and in pride that you are my husband.
and in pride that you are my husband.
You may place the ring.
Anyone got the butter?
We've got there. Wonderful. So, as we conclude our beautiful wedding ceremony, living in a committed relationship changes us. We become more than we were before, yet we do not cease to be individuals, leading individual lives, but something new is created. You know this there already, through the many years that you have already shared your lives together. Enjoy this new stage of your journey into married life. And I hope that you enjoy many more shared memories, adventures, and most importantly, fun. Christy and Sam, in front of the assembled family and friends, you have made your vows and declared your love and commitment to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the greatest pleasure that I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Thoser. Sam, not for the first time, and most certainly not for the last, you may kiss your beautiful bride.